There were a couple of connected articles that caught my eye in the news this week. Firstly, one which said that most members of Gen Z, the younger generation, I think to most of us, are more likely to get financial advice from TikTok or even their parents than from a financial advisor. And a sort of connected item to this also caught my eye, which was an interesting discussion on one of the many online forums for we financial advisors on the rights and wrongs of our annual fees. This was prompted by one who wasn't a member of the group, charging apparently 1.25% of the funds they look after just to provide a yearly review. And it gave rise to further discussion on the rights and wrongs of all sorts of ways of covering our costs and making a profit. The conclusion was that much of the stuff we have to do makes what we do unaffordable for smaller and therefore probably younger clients. That's not the only reason, of course, for those younger potential clients turning to family and TikTok instead of advisors. But it does mean advisors are less likely to seek them out and to make their services Gen Z friendly. And that's a phrase I wouldn't have written a few years ago. In the second article, Steve Webb, the former pensions minister under the Lib Dem coalition, was saying that the current and most future generations of Brits are and will be mostly banking on inheritances, probably from the family home, to fund their own retirements. Is that the case? Well, the answer is probably yes. And as less and less of the next generation have or are able to build pensions and other savings themselves, probably more and more so. And it's a double-edged sword. The parental generation increasingly worry that they won't be able to leave enough to their children, and worry that the cost of care in their approaching old age will whittle away any potential inheritance. Many of those, I find, then spend money setting up complicated and expensive lifetime trusts, which don't do anything to help with inheritance tax, but do try to make sure that their house and their savings will stay intact, be passed on, not used to fund care costs. Now, if I'm asked, my advice is don't do this. The odds are that you won't need care. If you do, it won't be for that long, unfortunately or fortunately. If you do, would you really want to be reliant on whatever limited funds your local authority might have left in its limited coffers to pay for your home or your carers? Probably not, and neither would your family, whatever, I suspect, the effect on their own retirement plans.